With the anticipation of this year's Summer Olympics being right around the corner and the growing success of basketball, specifically the impact that women's basketball has had this year, has young athletes feeling both inspired and excited within the sport. Rebuilding a team isn't always easy, but it was necessary for Coach John Calipari when he came to Arkansas with no staff, no roster, and no schedule. Now just a few months in, and he's excited to see what this team can offer within the first season. Representing Team USA at the Olympics is something that many young athletes dream of. And for 13-year-old triathlete Maddie Anderson, she is well on her way. Coach Cal and the Razorbacks will get back to work in September in preparation for the upcoming season. With the anticipation of this year's Summer Olympics being right around the corner and the growing success of basketball, specifically the impact that women's basketball has had this year, has young athletes feeling both inspired and excited within the sport. Jordan Minstead, a player development intern at the Arkansas Athletes Outreach, grew up hooping, but as a young athlete, she did not see a high level of women's sports coverage like there is today.
When I was growing up, that wasn't super popular in my age, and now I've got little girls all trained. They know exactly who I'm talking about when I talk about Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese or the WNBA, which is something that I never followed as a kid because it wasn't as popular.
With all of the hype that is surrounding women's basketball, this year's Summer Olympics will be empowering for young girls who aspire to make it at that professional level.
Seeing those players and how much they've done, where they came from originally, not knowing who they were, to now they're Olympic athletes playing basketball and playing for the WNBA when we were just a year ago watching them play in college. And so I think it'll instill a lot of confidence saying, oh, she just did this in the matter of a year. What can I do in the matter of a year, and how good can I become?
This positive exposure for women's basketball has ignited a fire within young female athletes to strive for greatness like never before.
Just seeing the amount of players and the amount of women that look up to these players, it brings a lot of excitement not only to me but to the young girls. We just had a girls' camp recently that they were just all bought in.
Jordan takes pride in being someone that young athletes can look up to.
Now that I'm on the other side of things, looking back at it, it's more of like I want to instill confidence into those young girls and boys at the same time. It's because that wasn't fully instilled into me, and that would have made me such a better athlete. And I feel like confidence is very key when it comes to your athletics.
The AAO program is dedicated to providing young athletes with an active space to dream big and one day shoot for gold, just like the athletes that they look up to today. In Rogers, Ashtyn Henderson, 4029 News. Representing Team USA at the Olympics is something that many young athletes dream of. And for 13-year-old triathlete Maddie Anderson, she is well on her way.
I started doing it, and then I just kept doing it because I loved it.
Anderson has been a part of Team E Multisport in Bentonville for the last 7 years.
She started when she was 6, and she's just grown up through the program, and you can see her success now.
Go Team E! During her time with Team E, she has competed in various super sprint triathlons around the nation. Most recently, Anderson raced in the USA Triathlon Legal Drift Nationals in Iowa. The race consisted of a 300-meter open water swim, followed by a 6-mile bike ride, and ending with a 1.5-mile run.
The beginning, I was a little nervous, but then throughout the thing, I was like, I got this, I'm doing great.
Despite being one of the youngest in her age division, Anderson placed 30th amongst 70 other triathletes.
For her to place 30th at Nationals in her first year racing at that level, being only 13 is pretty remarkable. Every year she's gotten more aggressive and more into it and more dedicated, and I love seeing that.
Anderson hopes to one day compete alongside some of her favorite Olympians. But as for right now, her and her teammates will begin training for next season this fall. In Bentonville, Ashtyn Henderson, 4029 Sports. Kel Brantley has only been competitively bowling for 3 years, but through his hard work and determination, he has sure made a name for himself. At just 12 years old, he started teaching himself the art of bowling and continues to strive for excellence.
You have to improve yourself and improve your game as well. Like, take time to practice away from team practices and stuff like that, but you also have to be in tune with your team, you know.
Brantley had a successful senior season, averaging .211 for Rogers High School. One of his goals is to bowl a perfect score. He's come up 1 pin shy 5 times.
I just can't get it yet, but it's awesome to see it. Like, I know I'm getting there because it's just happening more often, and I know I'm going to get it someday. So I'm just waiting for that moment. I'm excited.
Despite not ending his high school career with a perfect game, he continues to make history for the Mounties, helping to take the team to the state tournament for 3 straight years, and becoming the first male bowler for the school to receive a scholarship to play at the collegiate level.
He was a self-starter, and I think that's really where he's excelled. You know, just seeing him being able to take that and parlay it into being able to go bowl in college is really awesome, and I'm so happy for him.
And it's also going to allow me to get a college education, you know, pay for that as well. It's just furthering my career and seeing like bowling grow.
Brantley will be attending Wichita State in the fall to continue his bowling career. In Rogers, Ashtyn Henderson, 40/29 Sports.